Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you find yourself at this hour. This is the Exchange Program, a UFO program that comes on the Exchange Forum to discuss issues affecting youth in Liberia, whether you are in India as a Liberian, you are in China, or wherever you find yourself as a Liberian. The Exchange Program always discuss issues affecting Liberians. And in today's edition of the program, my name is Noah David, or the Optimist for short. And on our discussion, I have with me Elisha Dennis. He's also my co-panelist. And our guest for today is Harris Boulder Jr., former president of the Great St. Martin's Catholic High School. But before we dash into our discussion, I will first turn over to Elijah for a short introduction.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself shortly. The name remains Elijah Dennis is my name, and one of the panelists to the exchange program. So I want to say welcome wheresoever you are. I want to say welcome to the exchange. The exchange, like no regular stated, is a 1 hour 30 minutes program where we bring to you people from diverse backgrounds to explain to us what are some of those things that affect the students' community. So I said thank you and welcome, Harris. Welcome to the exchange.
Thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And our talking point for tonight's discussion from my end is innovation in life from an economic perspective. Before we dive into our discussion, our guest is already here. So, Harris, you can better introduce yourself so that the audience can know and be acquainted with you as we are about to start.
Okay. Thanks, Noel. Thanks to the listening audience. Thanks, Mr. Elijah Dennis. I'm Harris M. Bolo Jr., a Liberian, and I am a student within the University of Jiangsu University of Technology. I am in the China Republic, where I'm presently studying now. So I'm wholeheartedly grateful to each and every one of you. I'm grateful to the organizing committee for you guys inviting me onto this platform. It is a pleasure, and we hope that each and every one of our work, caught us there to see the unique benefit of today's youth. So once again, I'm Harrison Bodo. I'm a Liberian. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Harris. Before we start, we want to know how the living condition at your end as an international student is. And other people might want to attend your university because this is a UFO forum. So Liberians are watching and they want to maybe get acquainted to how they can attend your university or other universities in China or the living condition there. So can you please tell a little about it before we can start?
Okay. First of all, China is a very unique country. It is a friendly environment for students, and I won't be, very good enough, or I won't be okay if I just sit on this platform and be able to give back news to China. I won't lie. For the past 3 years that I've actually been in China, the environment I've actually been friendly, and as compared to the learning condition, is very conducive. With the issue of, you know, our universities here, like they study the way people goes about their study is very unique. It's very easy as compared to Liberia, where we are from, or other African countries. And I won't lie to you, any students who comes from Liberia or around Africa, if they comes to China, definitely I think they're going to perform greatly, because within China you are provided all of the materials. If you are doing this course, they give you all of the materials for you to study very well and be able to accomplish your dream. Like with the issue of the university, my university is a good university. I love it very much. I'm in the Jiangsu University of Technology and Science. Uh, like I said, the living condition is okay, and the teaching system is very much unique. But it's just that you got to adapt to some Chinese trying to speak English while teaching you. So, like I said, the living condition is okay, and the education system here is unique. So, anybody who is wishing to come to China, when China's open, you are welcome. Do not be afraid. The living expense here is not really high. As long as your parents got money, they can be able to. The average person parents can be able to support their child within China. Because one of the things that people shouldn't get twisted, you don't work in China if you're a student. It's going to be very difficult you find work. So anybody you hear are working in China, they are doing illegal jobs. So that's one of the things I will be able to spread to people out there. The environment is friendly. If your parents got their money, definitely they can be able to help you to send you $50 every month for feedings. Yeah. So far so good. That's it.
Okay, now Ilache want to say something.
Yeah, actually, I have getting the insight as to how the system in China actually go, and I think our viewers, our listeners out there, have getting some insight on the entire process of living conditions in China. We are here tonight speaking with Harris Bogolo, a Liberian currently in China, who is reading economics in that part of the world. And today's topic is innovation in life on an economics perspective. So we are here today. No, you can start from
So, innovation, the word is very big, but our guest is coming to tell us what it is. Innovation. So, Harry, when you are speaking about innovation and placing it into life, what are you trying to say?
Yeah. No, like you already stated, like the you really point out the word innovation to the life perspective. You know, innovation is a word. Mostly people hear these words: innovation, invention, all these things. But basically, some of our friends or some of the students or people out there really do not know the main idea of innovations. So innovation is not a big word. Definitely, if you place it in Google, you'll come up with a very unique definitions. But as for my perspective, as for my point of view, innovation is basically a new idea, coming up with new idea to be able to do something to help the world. So I expect that if you look at the word innovation, it's something that you should be able to come up with from the whole idea, because if you look at our forefathers, like they have actually created big things. They have actually had an innovative mind. Like my father and I, basically, I can say I'm not the same because my father is an economist. What he studies and what he does, I think it's not the same with him. It's about me trying to create new idea, what he learned before or what he tried to, you know, practice or try to do before. What I'm doing now, I should be able to do new things. I should be able to create new things. I should base on his old ideas and be able to get a new innovative mind. So innovation is all about that. It's all about you creating new things. So basically, from my definition, innovation is all about coming over new ideas to be able to help the world. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, so how does innovation affect the economic growth? Since innovation is about bringing out new ideas and new things, how does it affect our economic growth? Because you are an emerging economist, so you know very well how the economy works. And let's look at it in an innovative way. What are some of the
Uh,
effects?
okay, thank you, Noah. Like I prepare a slide. I prepare a PPT where I could be able to present today and for the students body to understand. And here I have the PPT right here with me. It's so unfortunate that I can be able to share with the audience, but if you give me the authority, I can be able to dive into it and elaborate in detail so our listening audience can be able to understand. So, as for that being said, maybe I don't know how it is like Elijah, but I want to really dive within my presentations. Like I came fully prepared here on this platform. So I hope I be able to I be given the chance and the opportunity to be able to dive in my presentation or in my PPT to be able to elaborate to the students. I hope that is okay.
Sure. It is okay. You can go through.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, to our listening audience, today I prepared key things. Here, one of my key points that I'll be speaking on so many points, like 9 points. I don't want to bore your day. I don't want to waste your time. So I will just be elaborating on these 9 key points. So here, firstly, like, we have done the introductions, and secondly, I will be able to give you the genesis of innovations from the economic perspective, and also I'll be able to give you some definitions, and I'll be also able to elaborate on the importance of innovations and the types of innovation, the process, how it works. Maybe people want to know the process of innovations, and I'll be able to elaborate on that too. And also, I will be able to give some big names of the some of the big names who came up to invent great things, who had the innovative mind to be able to invent things that we are benefiting today, like the cell phone, the airplanes, the television. So I'll be able to give these names to you and give brief explanation about them. And also, we will also be talking about diffusion in innovation. Yeah, that is one of the things. Diffusion of innovation will be basically speaking of the theory. Maybe most people does not understand the word diffusion of innovation. So I'll be elaborating on that. And also from there, I will come to my concluding point. So as that being said, let me look at the genesis of innovation. It all comes about, from the days where innovation begins, where people within the 19th century, it all started, the actual word innovation, or the actual word investment, or the actual word innovate. It all started in the 19th century. You can do your research, and basically, I think you're going to see it. It all started in the 19th century, where at that time, the people who were living at that time, the mind that they had was all about innovation. The mind that they had, the language that they all speak, was all about innovation. When I'm speaking of the language, I'm not talking about the Chinese, the English, no. But I'm talking about collectively, when we are sitting, what do we think about? How do we think to help the world tomorrow? So within the 19th century, the people who were alive at that time, they all sat. What all they were thinking about was innovation, how to invent, how to come up with great ideas to be able to help the world. And as that being said, most people, from what I have read and what I have come up to, if you tap into Google, they will tell you that the father of innovation is Thomas Edison. I don't know how factual is that, but it's information, it's things. But one of the greatest, I would say, from my perspective, one of the greatest innovators is Thomas Edison. It was through Thomas Edison that we begin to see light bulb, that we can be able to see within the darkness. He was the one that invented it. And through his innovative idea, that's how that came about. So basically, that's just the brief genesis of innovations. And we will move on to the definition. This part I've come up with the definitions. It's all about creating new ideas. So I'm not going to prolong anything here. Like I said, innovation or innovative mind is all about you sitting and try to create new idea, try to help the world. It's not you creating a new idea for yourself. Definitely, if you create a new idea or if you invent something and you keep it to yourself, that's not innovation. Maybe you are trying to help yourself. But if you create the idea and be able to spread it out to the world and help the world, definitely that is an innovative mind, and that is investment, where people knows about it. If Thomas Edison could just or invent the light bulb and just sit down to his house. He said, okay, I've done this light bulb, it's for myself and my family without people knowing about it. Definitely, that's not innovation. So, as per the definition is clear, I think each and every one of you can understand that. So now we'll move further more to uh, the importance. One of the main point here is the importance of innovations. You know, people say, they like say, oh, how important innovation is. But I would tell you, I would tell everybody that is on the platform, innovation is very important. Without innovation, you won't be on this platform today. Without innovation, we won't be communicating with our parents on a daily basis. Without innovation, you won't be able to sit and think, yeah, about anything. So basically, innovation is important to the world. And through innovation, we have had systematics mechanism put into place. Through innovation, we have gotten great technologies that has been able to help the world. Through innovation, we have, begin to see, growth within our economic sectors. Yeah, like I said, through innovation. So these are the importance. Now, let's dive into it. If you look at from the economic perspective, innovation is very, very important to economic growth. First of all, innovation contributes immensely to the GDP of each country. Let's look at Elon Musk. He's from the United States of America. He came up with the cheapest electric car, because I won't say he was the one that invented electric car, no. And he also came up with something to be able to help to create cheap things that people can be able to buy and help the environment. One, it's helping the environment because the environment is not going to be polluted. Out of the electric cars, you can ride your electric car. Electric car is very friendly to the environment. All right, let's zoom. Let's look at the employees that have been employed by Elon Musk. Is that not an economic growth to the economy? Because each and every one of these people, one way or the other, they do have a family. They do take salaries. They do live on the hard-earned money. So definitely, if you look at the GDP, the electric cars company is contributing immensely to the GDP of the country. So now that's one of the importance, and that's one of the great things of innovations. Now let's look at the issue of the disc, the cassette that we had before in the 90s, in the 60s, where you cannot access any music except you play a cassette in a radio, or you cannot access any movie except you place a disc in a television. But now you don't even need to waste your time. There are a lot of platform that is out there that you can go on a screening. They are screening movies like Netflix. You don't need to go and get cassette. You don't need to get this to show Netflix movies. No, you can just go to Netflix on the internet and access your movie and watch your movie. That is another thing. These things are contributing greatly to the GDP of the country. So, like I said, these are importance of innovations into this life. Without innovations, definitely, I don't think we're going to be on this platform. Like, let's look at the issue of cell phones. See how effectively innovation have been. From the past years, you've been using flip type phones. For the past years, we've been carrying electronic money around. But now within this century now, within China, you hardly see money, like the paper money. You hardly see the paper money. To an innovative idea someone created, like Jack Ma. Jack Ma was the one that came up with it. He created an application for electronic money purpose use, where you can access your money within your phone. You don't need to carry cash on you. You don't need to go around to be in problem with the robbers. You don't need to be in problem, like you don't need to even think of losing your phone. Not losing your phone, but you don't even need to think about losing your cash. You can just go to the bank, access your money, place it on your phone, and definitely you have your money in your phone. Even if your phone lost, you will still access your money because no one knows your password. No one knows anything. As long as your phone lost, just get another phone and access your account, put your password, and it's done. That is one of the importance of innovation to the economic growth. They have helped a lot. So when it comes to the importance, these are importance of innovations. And I'd love to move on to the second point. So here we have the types of innovations. There are many types of innovations, but today, like I said, I'll only be elaborating on 4 main types of innovations. And if after these presentations, if anybody needs a slide, you can either contact Elijah. I'll be able to share it to him, and you can be able to look at it also. So there are 4 main types of innovation. Here we have the sustaining, we have the disruptive, the radical, and the incremental. These are the 4 main types of innovations, and there are a lot more. If it goes and on. I don't really know the actual types of innovation, but what I know is the 4 main types of innovation, and this is what I'm going to be elaborating to you today. Here you got the sustaining. Like sustaining says that it's significant improvement of a product that aims to sustain in the positions in an existing market. Like if we come up with this product, like people come up with a product on the market that people does not know, you should be able to sustain that product. The people who are going after it, like the consumers, should be able to go after it more. The more somebody comes up with new idea, getting for feedback.
You don't need the mic. No.
I'm getting a feedback. All right.
Yeah, it's much better.
Like with the issue of sustaining, the more a new product comes out on the market with someone have greatly invented it. Like let's zoom like the cell phone. Let's forget about the cell phone. Let's look at the cell phone today. Forget about the flip tab. The flip tab have been in since the 90s, since the 80s. But today you have something that like the flip tab is running out of the market. The flip tab is a whole idea that people don't even want to use today. So now it's all about sustaining the new idea that comes about. Like let's look at iPhone. iPhone just came out within the 2000s, and today you see gradually the process is going up. Apple is sustaining their product. Apple is sustaining their idea. Instead, they don't want for the idea to get over to the buyers or the consumers. So you will see today, Apple going to put out iPhone 1. Next year, they're going to put out iPhone 2. The other year, they're going to put out iPhone 3. On and on. They are sustaining the customers. They don't want for the idea to go their way. So they will always be bringing new ideas. They always try to create new ideas for the phone, for the Apple phone company. Either they will provide TV camera or 6 camera, and people will run after it. They will say, "Oh, the phone has come up with 6 camera. I'm going for it." So it's all about you sustaining your product or you sustaining the idea that you created. And second, let's move to the disruptive or tips, where you have the technology or new business model that disrupt the existing market. Okay, fine, yeah. Like I was speaking of iPhone. Let's deviate from iPhone now. Let's come to the electronic car company. Nowadays, everybody that is on the platform, in the future, you want to own an electronic car. Reason being, it's very smooth, it's environmental free, it helps save you from spending a lot of money, like buying gasoline. You don't need to go to much expensive to go to the petrol station and stay in line to buy petrol. So nowadays you see people are running after the electronic cars. Tesla, they want to have Tesla, they want to own Tesla. So that is the new idea. When you comes up with new idea, it disrupts the whole entire market. People want to go after it. So as an innovator, You should be able to sit down and create new ideas that your consumer or the entire world will run after. Like today, like I said, everybody want to own Tesla. If you give me the opportunity now, it's just that I don't have money. But Tesla is the trend. Everybody want to own electronic cars. Even Lamborghinis, Bugatti, even Mercedes-Benz, they are all getting themselves involved into electronic cars business. You have a Mercedes-Benz that is electronic today. But first, they didn't have that idea. It was Elon Musk who recently came about this idea, and today everybody is running into it. And now you'll find like now China is one of the countries that basically have the highest amount of owners of electronic cars. Now, if you look at New Zealand, not New Zealand, but Switzerland, the government placed a mandate that almost everybody should own an electronic car. So what they did, they dropped the price of the car, the tax on the car. So now everybody can be able to afford Tesla. Everybody can be able to afford other product. So if it comes up with an innovative ideas to help the world, definitely it's going to disturb. It's going to cause problem. People going to run after your product. So it's all about, causing disturbance, trying to go after a new product that can help the world. Like the electronic cars, like I said, it's an environmental friendly car. No pollution. You don't need to worry about pollution. People been talking about climate change. So why you think people won't go after it? And another tip again is the radical. The radical. This one have to do with the technological breakthrough that the transform industries often create a new market. Yeah. Now you will see that if people going out of business, they will actually try to create new market. This is the radical tip, where you will see their product is not going well, everything is not going well. So what's the new idea for them to create a new market? Now you see Nokia. How many people you see today buy Nokia? No, nobody's. I think they have actually gone out of ideas. They cannot actually come up with great ideas for them to consume their customer anymore. So what do? They try to if I'm them, I would be able to sit down and strategize and be able to come up with new ideas. So this step is all about that. If your company is going out of business, if you are going out of ideas, try to sit and think and come up with good ideas to be able to call the customer back. And if I was them, because every day things are getting better. If you think that you are thinking about A, somebody is also thinking about the next thing to be able to help the world. So they should be able to create an idea that should be able to help the world. So that is what it's all about. And now this last step, it has to do with the incrementality, which is a gradual continuation of improvement on existing product and service. Like with this issue, like the issue of the point of the sustaining, right? Gradual improvement. Let's look at what I said about the iPhone. The iPhone is always going to be in demand because what? There is a company that is out there to really compete. Although there are companies there, but the demand for iPhone today is on a high increase. Everybody wants iPhone because what? iPhone comes up with the idea that they have created this feature for it to be unique, for it to be like this. So the idea, people going to go after it. So that's just it. You should just come up with an idea every day to be able to help the world, to be able to attract your consumers. So that is what this step is about. Now let's move to the other step. We have the process of innovation. I know this is what majority of the youth want to hear. What is the process of innovation? How can this be done? But instead of you looking at the process, you should be able to sit down and try to think. Try to, like, for you to have innovative mind, it's not something like you can just sleep over there and get out and say, oh, I'm going to invent this. No. There should be a way out where you can sit down and think over and over and again. And while you are thinking, try to think about what you are about to do, event, try to have the innovative mind first to carry on your investment. Think about it on a daily basis. Before, try it. After you try, when you have failed several times, there are a lot of people who have failed. Even the Thomas Edison that we are talking about, like today, he's the father of innovations. Who told you he didn't fail? He failed so many times. So people just want to know about the process. But it's all about you trying your new idea that you have. If you think that is okay and unique, try it. Try to fail. Go through the fielding process. After the fielding process, try again over and over. So now on my platform here, what I gathered, the process of innovation, it all has to do with the idea. First of all, you need to have the idea. That's one of the points. After having the idea, have the mind of creativity. Yes. First, you need to have the mind of creativity. You can just jump for the blue sky. You say, okay, I have the idea today, but I don't know how to create what I want to have. How is that possible? You also need to have the vision. You should be a visionary person. You should be someone who has the vision to do this. Who told you that the people who invented the first car, who invented the telephone that we are using, or the laptops we are using today, who told you they just jump on the blue sky and say, well, I'm inventing laptops, or I'm inventing computers? No, they didn't just jump. They sat and think over and over, and they had the vision. They had the mind to create. They had the mind to put almost all of these things together. That's why today we are a beneficiary of these things. You should also have the growth. You should have the mind, like say, if I'm doing this, I want to, despite I'm going to fail so many times, but I want to improve myself. You should also have the inspirations. You should be inspired to do this. Without inspiration, these things cannot work. And you should also go through all of the process. When you're feeling creative, like I said, firstly, you should have the idea, the creativity, the vision, the growth, the inspiration. And after you have had all of these things, then now you can be coming up to something saying, oh, I'm going to invent, because you have the innovative mind. So basically, these are just the tips. There are many types there are many processes of innovations. Other person or other presenter will tell you that you should do this, you should do this. But as for me, I will tell you that the idea, the process, the development, the inspirations, the growth, the vision, and the creativities. These are the tips. These are the process.
So as you've been following us, there's a change forum. There's a 1 hour 30 minutes program. We are coming live to you on 3 different platforms, on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are in communications today with Harris Bogolo, a citizen of Liberia currently in China pursuing his education and economics. He's speaking to us today on innovations and life with from a economics perspective. You listen to him giving so many points, so many cardinal points on what are those things that are affecting the growth and developments of innovation. And today you have been joined with our panelists, Sita Harriet Morba, Noah Davis, and Elijah Dennis. We are coming to you live from India, where we are situated and hosting a live podcast, bringing students from different part of the world to talk the students' thing. So, Noah, as you've been listening to Harris, I think we just lost Harris. We hope Harris join us back very soon. Have you been listening to him? He is speaking of innovation in life. Wow, that's a great and interesting story, because I do believe, like just I learned from him, the entire process of innovations, what we are doing today, it was invented by somebody, and because of that, today we've been able to infiltrate most of our daily life activities, and we have been able to easily walk through the world of so many universities, colleges, and the list goes on. So, no, what is your take to the topic as we are with our guest speaker today, Harris Bogolo?
Okay, thank you, Elijah. The issue of innovation is very, very important. It's redefining our society because without innovation, I don't think we were to be sitting today as panelists to present this program. So innovation has been a great deal to society. It has caused us to learn more about the world of technology. And besides in the technical world, innovation has helped us to do other things outside of technology. So with the help of innovation, you can see that there are mobile phones, you can travel from one country to another, and there are other things people are inventing, like in our own body. You will see someone discover cells, someone discover this when it comes to the biological sector. So innovation is very, very important because with innovation, you will see there will be new ideas in society, and always an individual who is innovative will always bring up the best to society because you always think of new ideas, you always bring on the table brand new things to discuss, and there will always be ways that you will settle issues that are bringing to society. But in every sector of life, whatever you do in society, you need to have both the positive and the negative aspect. So as we are discussing, innovation is almost like influence because if you are innovative, you might be innovative in the positive direction or in the negative direction. So let's take an example, a boy who is very, very innovative. He likes to bring up new ideas when it comes to society, things affecting society. But this guy, his part of innovation is more about negativity. He likes to produce things that are very toxic to society and other things that we cannot hold, society cannot hold. An example is the drugs we see in society today, marijuana and other substances. Someone was behind that, right? Someone who is very innovative, but they were innovative within the negative range. So if you are an innovator, you need to take the positive aspect, like be optimistic every time. You should not always be on the negative range because if you are an innovator in the negative position, you'll cause harm to society. But also in the positive range, if you are an innovator and you are bringing great deals to society, society is very happy with all of the great things you are doing. At times, there are also effects. There are advantages of positive innovation. There are also disadvantages of positive innovation. Because if you are an innovator within a positive range, like our guests rightly stated, some of the things that people are inventing in society is actually bringing up the society to a better place. You are gaining, and you are gaining everything you want to gain. But let's look at the cell phone. If you misuse the cell phone, you have some health issues like you cannot have the cell phone on charge and have earphone into it. Listening, you might damage your ears. So there are also disadvantages within the sector of innovation. Welcome back, Harris.
No,
Yeah, thank you, thank
it's
you.
yeah, yeah. Harris, let me just come in a bit. It's getting quite interesting. You will not believe that new ideas are coming. Oh, you observing something? We are we are inventing new things. Right now, we are inventing new things. Actually,
Yeah,
the topic is actually getting interesting and interesting. Because from what actually we are looking at here and looking at the positive aspect of innovations that Noah just highlighted, and I just hope that our brother here, Harry, is going to talk about that. What is the negative aspect of the entire process of innovation that she said? But we hope to actually go through the conversations with our guests. Today, our guest is Harry Bogolo, well seated in China, a Liberian who is studying economics in that part of the world, speaking to us on life and innovations with from economics background. So Harris will say welcome again as we proceed.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry to each and every one of you for the program that just erupted. Okay, like I was trying to come to that part, like the issue of the negative side of innovations. You know, people just feel that when they speak of innovation, it's all about everything is good. Yes, what I can say is everything about innovation, right? It's good, but of course, if I'm an inventor, right, and I create a machine that can be able to save your life for almost like instead of you to die at the age of 18, I create a machine to be able to preserve your heart. Or let's say something happened to your heart, and I create a machine for you to preserve your heart up to 50 years old. And then you and your family, we give you the machine. No, go home with this machine. The machine have been invented. We have tried on so many people. Go home with this machine. Since you are 18 years old, let your family be taking care of you. Your heart is in the machine. You're mistaking it with the mistakes of the human and no one died at the age of 25 or I died at the age of 25. So is that a problem to what I create or is a problem to the human, the person who is trying to take it? So it's all about you misusing what have been created. Like Noah rightly said, if you create cell phone was meant to be able to have a pleasant communication with your family, your friends, whosoever. But to this day, there are a lot of people that is misusing the invention. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of people that is doing wrong thing with it. Imagine I didn't tell you that you should have this cell phone, plug it on charge, and take the earpiece and place it in your ear. When something happens to your ear, it becomes a problem. But that's not the disadvantage of the innovation, innovation. For me, I feel that innovation does not have any disadvantage. But with the human use, the way in which human wrongly use it, that's a problem. The wrongly usage of the of innovations, that is the problem. So now there are a lot of things. There are a lot of disadvantages where people will say, "Oh, I did this, I did that." Nah, that's not the problem of innovation. That's not a disadvantage. Clearly, they're going to tell you that. Uh, they're actually going to tell you that. Oh, if you are living in this world, let's assume when you go to the doctor will tell you, "Oh, you know, cannabis is on drugs. Sometimes it's used in the hospital." They're going to tell you that it's used in a hospital, but it also have disadvantage. The disadvantage is where when you overdose yourself, or the drugs that have been made, right? The doctor going to tell you that this is a drug. These drugs were meant for a good purpose. Paracetamol was meant for a good purpose. Chloroquine, everything was meant for a good purpose. From the innovative idea, the person who created it was meant for a good purpose. But you misusing it, that is a bad purpose. The disadvantage comes from him when you misuse the product that have been made or that have been invented. But the product itself does not have any disadvantage. This is it. It does not have any disadvantage. But you, human, when you misuse the idea that have been created, this is where the disadvantage comes in. It will tell you the good side of Harris or the bad side of Harris. And this is where a lot of people will face difficulties in so many things. Like I create a car. I tell you, you should drive the car on 40 meters per hour. Like your speed limit should be like 40 kilometers. But here, you took the car and go straight 200 kilometers. When you get involved into an accident, you die. That's not the negative side. That innovative mind or the person who created the idea to invent that car didn't create any negative side. But because you have misused the limit that they gave you, it caused your own death. So what I can say, what I would tell everybody, yes, from my perspective, innovation, the word innovation does not have any disadvantage. But the way in which human misuses the ideas that have been invented or the ideas that have been created to be able to help the world, that is where the disadvantage comes in. So, as that has been said, like I think each and every one of you are going to say, I don't need to be really so lot of things about disadvantage. Like I've literally said so many things here about the advantage of the importance, the good of it, how innovative can be good. And I've actually told you guys that innovation contributes immensely to the growth of the economy. If you have a lot of investment going on, a lot of people with a great innovative mindset in a country, trust me, that country is going to be great. Like example, let's take this common idea or this common thing of Liberia and China. I know people will say, why are you comparing Liberia with China? Okay, let's leave Liberia. Let's leave China. Let's get to our own African setup. Look at Rwanda and look at Liberia. Look at the differences. These people went into war like the same way we went into war. We're in the war for 22 years. Yeah, I agree. We destroyed a lot of things. But compare yourself with the genocide the people went into. The people destroyed their country completely. At least you have some buildings that left. But when you look at the center of Rwanda, because the people are determined and there are a lot of great ideas. I'm not saying that there are more people in Liberia that have that great idea or that innovative mind to be able. But because of something is destroying it. Corruption. You have the good and the smart students. These students who are going out of the country in India, China, America, in the UK, trying to study very hard, come up with a great idea. Immediately when you go there, you create the idea. You hear a politician telling you that this cannot work, this won't help the country, but instead it will bring more problem to the country. It will bring more problem to the economy. Look at Rwanda. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of great things going on. They are even creating their own cell phone. They are even creating their own electric bikes for the streets, because these people have great innovative mind. And not only the great innovative minds, but they have their government to be able to back them up. That is why you are seeing the rapid increase of their GDP, the rapid increase of their economic system is growing very fast. If you go and do your research, you look at one of the best economic growing countries in Africa now. If Rwanda do not pop up, do not believe what I'm saying today. Now, the people GDP were way down. I don't know the specific amount, but I know it was way down. But now, these people GDP is higher than Liberia GDP. It's even higher than some countries that I'm looking at, like Guinea, like Africa. Rwanda has a better GDP than these countries that I just mentioned. So, with this mind, it has helped greatly in the economic sectors. If you got good people that have good minds, good people that is ready to invent, good people that is ready to share the new ideas, definitely there will be rapid increase in the GDP. And that is being helpful to the economic sectors. As that being said, now, let me go to a point where, like the issue of diffusion, I think this is going to be my last point, and then where people are going to come up with questions, and I will be open to be able to answer these questions with explanations to it. So now let's look at the word diffusion. Diffusion in innovation. If you have Google, you can literally get to it, or probably after the presentations, you can be able to go on YouTube and listen to the theory of diffusion. Now, diffusion have to do with something. They have to do with something like, let me refer to like an economic system, like a business system. Diffusion, the theory of diffusion in innovation. Now, you will find out that within diffusion, there are like, let me see, there are 5 stages in diffusion. 1, you have the early inventors. The 5 stages, the early people who are about to doubt the early adoptees, and then you have the late majority, and then last you have the leaguer. You can look at the theory everywhere. You can even Google it's going to tell you. There are 5 tips. So now, the inventors, number one, you will find out that this product going to come out. Let's forget about a product. When that comes to the movies, like now you have the Black Panther, I think season 2, or I don't know, series 2. Now everybody's eager for it. Everybody want to goes after it. The people who are the first to go and monitor the trailer, or today when they are saying that they are putting up Black Panther movies, the people who are the first to go at the cinema, definitely it won't come on your streaming platform right away. But it will go to the cinema. People go in India, in China, Liberia, they will go to the various cinema. The cinema is going to pay for it, pay a high money, more money, and then they're going to charge you and I to go at the cinema to be able to watch it. The first people that goes to the cinema to watch their movies, they are the inventors in diffusion. They will sit, watch the movies, and guess what? It comes out. When they come out, some of them will be YouTubers, some of them will be influencers, some of them will be there to critique the movie, but they will be the one that will actually be waiting to be able to spend more money. So when they goes and watch the movie, they come out. First of all, you'll hear it on the various streaming platform. You'll hear it on a YouTube page where he's gonna be explaining what this movie was like this. If the movie is trash or the movie is not good, you're gonna hear from these people. These people will tell you, the movie is not good, the movie is not this, the movie is that. These are the inventors when it comes to diffusion, the theory of diffusion. Then after that, you got the second group of people who followed. The second group of people are the early adoptees. These are the ones that will go to the cinema also. No, they won't go to the cinema, but they will wait for the movie to come at the streaming platform and pay for it to watch the movie on Netflix. Oh, they do have their account, so they want to pay for it and watch the movie. After watching this movie, based upon what the first people said about this movie, that is good, when it is good, they are going to look at the good part of it. They will be more excited. When it is bad, they want to know what is bad in it. So these are the early adoptees when it comes to the diffusion theory. Now you will look at the early majority. And if you look at the Vera percentage, now the inventors, they have 2.5%. They are very less when it comes to the theory of diffusion. They are actually very less that will monitor these movies or monitor whatsoever thing that have been invented. It can be car, it can be movie, it can be whatsoever thing. So they have 2.5%. And now the early adoptees have 13.5%. They are still also early, but they have less percentage to go and watch it. But if you look at the people who have the most percentage, is the early majority. They have the 34%. These are the people that's going to go. You're going to wait when you finish getting the movie on your Netflix. You're going to wait for it to be shared to them or probably take your account and watch your movie. They are not paying much money for it, but they are looking at the outcome of it. Well, if you say it's bad, they are going to look at it. If you say it's good, they are going to look at it. But the idea, they are not spending money. So within that case, you'll find majority of people. You find the early majority to be able to watch this movie at 34%. They are 34%. You found the late majority also at 34%. And the last one is called the leisure. The leisure are the people who don't care. Like there are some things you and myself don't care for. Like me, I don't care wearing fashion clothes. Like wearing the latest Louis Vuitton though. That I don't care about it. If you give me when I'm sitting randomly and you say, oh, Harris, wear this, I'm gonna take it and wear it because I'm not paying money for it. You gotta even force it on me to give me it. So when you look at these people, when it comes to the diffusion theory, these people contribute 16%. They don't care about you. They don't care about what you do. They don't care about the trend. They just go about. So in innovation, I've just told you that when it comes to the diffusion theory, there are 5 tips. So if you literally understand, all these things have to do with something with economics. They have to do with something like marketing strategy. All these ideas is probably an innovative idea. You got to come up with something for people to rush with it. So definitely, you got to go by bit by bit. The idea of them coming up with like telling us, let's go at the cinema first. That's a great idea. That's a great marketing strategy in economics to be able to call people go at the cinema, the cinema first, show this movie. Let people go and they come and pay money. Now, all these things they are doing, they are generating money. It's contributing also to the economic growth of the country. So as per that, that is for the diffusion theory. So ladies and gentlemen, for today, I have literally elaborated on things. Like I said, I elaborate on the importance, and I'll be now waiting for questions. And I'm open to answer any questions. Any question I'm open to answer. I hope you were able to learn something today, and I'm hoping to be able to come back on the platform to be able to share another information. And I'm hoping to work with the change. The change, right? It's the change, right? Yeah, I'm hoping to work with the change organizations. So Elijah Dennis, I'm very, very, very grateful. Noah Davis, to the organizing committee, I'm grateful for this opportunity that have been provided me. So my presentation have literally come to an end, but like I said, I'll be waiting for questions and I'll better elaborate. Basically, if there are things that I didn't say, you can ask me and I'll be able to elaborate on it. So thank you.
Okay, Harris, you have said almost everything. When I had this doubt and I'm still thinking about this, the issue of disadvantages when it comes to innovation. Because if you have anything, like anything you do in this life, there are opposite reactions. I guess we did Newton's law of motion. But for innovation, people will have things produced which will be greatly influential to society on the positive aspect. But let's look at our guys, right? Those in the ghettos we are calling Zokos today, our youth. They have an innovative mind before going over there. And some of them, as they are innovative, they are also influential. So you cannot just sit and have jokes within your possession. No, you have to create new ideas, how to get them. Like this few time, I saw a news where a guy placed those jokes within his system as a carrier for the next country where he collapsed at Delhi airport. That's an innovation. He's very innovative to have these things in his system. So can we use that and say it's not a disadvantage for innovation? With all of the things like aircrafts, like you have airplanes, they are crashing on a daily basis, you have ships, they are collapsing in the sea, and other things happening. Can you also say it's not a disadvantage for innovation?
Okay. First of all, like I said, I did mention the disadvantage, but I'm telling you that if I personally create this, and if I create this, anything that I create, or anything that whosoever create, I'm not saying that if you and I use it, it does not have effect or it does not have disadvantage. I'm saying with the use of human. Let's try this clear. I told you what the use of human, sometimes it makes it a disadvantage. But if I create this product and I come up with it, oh, this is it. First of all, I'm going to tell you that this product is meant for this. But if you see this damaging or going into a problem, it means that the rightful use have not been applied. It means the rightful use have been done wrongly. So as for that, it will be a disadvantage because the people who causes this disadvantage are human. So if I'm saying that I said for me, like I don't think that innovation have disadvantage. I told you, but for the users of human, definitely what a guy did, placing the drugs within the system. He had an innovative idea, right? But then he knew that it killed him. No, he just thought he could survive with it. So because he died or he collapsed within New Delhi, that's make a disadvantage. And who carry on who carry on that idea? It was a human. So I'm also telling you that yes, innovation have this advantage because without human usage or without human use, there is no disadvantage for innovation. So I hope you are getting my point. I'm saying innovation have disadvantage. Innovation itself, the word innovation does not have disadvantage. But when human comes in to it to use the product or use whatsoever thing that have been invented, it have disadvantage. So you get it.
Thank you very much, Harris Bogolo. We want to say thank you so much. If you are following us, there's the Exchange Forum. We are live on 3 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are coming to you this time. Wheresoever you are, we say welcome to the Exchange. Today we are in a talk with Harris Bogolo, who is talking about innovations in life from an economics perspective. So, Mr. Bogolo have shared from his own experience, from his own analysis, innovation do not have a negative aspect. The negative aspect comes when the individual wrongly use it, then it becomes negative. But the idea in itself is not actually wrong. Do not have any wrong attachment. So now we are speaking with Harry, and my concern have been drawn to the business aspect of it because we are actually looking at it from a business perspective here today. Mr. Bogro, my questions to you is that how does innovations affect the growth of economics? How does
Okay.
the entire process of innovations? Because you said from your introduction that innovation is the fact of bringing new ideas and new things. But do we have any negative aspect on the growth of economics? Is there any way that is balance, giving some level of balances to the positive and negative side? So that's my question. How does it affect the growth of the economics?
Okay. Thank you, Elijah, for that question. I really appreciate. You know, if you look at the word innovation and you look at the word economics, I think it's kind of related. Uh, let's come to the question. How does it affect, the growth of the economy? Yeah, how does it affect? Now, you have the good part of it where when a creative idea comes out, like the issue of they creating iPhone and people going after it, and the consumers going after it on a daily basis, buying iPhone, buying all these products from the iPhone company. That is the good side of it. But where you have high intensities, high GDP, and where you have rapid growth within the economy. Now, where the problem comes from is where when your ideas, the people who you have on board at your company, if they are not coming up with new ideas, definitely one, because the consumer's going to go away. They are coming to buy that product anymore. Like for example, or Nokia. Nokia had you know they have high exchange on the GDP. They have high progress on the GDP when it comes to the Nokia product, how people were demanding for it. And now today, you don't have people going for Nokia product. That's one of the effects. Instead of it having stance in the GDP within the country, now it does not have. So now that stage of things being good, where the employee does not have to do much work, by the end of the day they earn a lot of money, where they do not need to carry on much advertisement, by the end of the day they carry on they get much money, they get much attention, they get good working environment. That is the good side of it. But when the ideas is not flowing anymore, there is a new idea, there is no innovative new mind coming in, like to be able to create new things, so to be able to help the world or help the environment or help the consumers. Now it becomes a problem to the economy. You will have people demand the demand will decrease. There will be a much problem in the economic sector. The GDP won't be the same. Don't forget that everything that happens in your country when it comes to business related issues, it contributes to the GDP. So when things does not go well, if there isn't much electric cars company in your country, if everything start to go wrong, like now they start to have problem with the electric car company, where when you get in it just blow off and people start buying electronic cars, there will be a rapid decrease in the GDP. People won't go for it anymore. People who they don't want to ride car, they don't want to ride motorbike, they don't want to do anything with vehicles. So that is the effect that is going to cause on the GDP of your country or any place. So I hope I did answer your question.
Sure. Thank you very much. Wherever you are following us, we want to say welcome. We have here viewers here. Certifier Tapet is following from India. Antonin Wille is also following. Gina G. Wille is following. She said she is watching from Banga, Banga City. She said, "Good job, my son." Welcome to the Exchange. Wherever you are following us, we want to say this at a Change Forum, where we bring students from diverse backgrounds to speak to us on varieties of issues affecting the students' community. Today, we are having of us Harris Bogolo from China, who is talking to us on innovations in life, from the economics perspective. As you've been listening to him, you can make your call through with the number pinned on our screen. The WhatsApp number is there. You can call to make your points. You can ask questions, and questions can be answered by our guest here today. No, we come back to you if there's any questions to be asked, or not. We can proceed.
Yeah, I guess all of us here are Liberians, and Harris is an emerging economist. So let's look at our country a little bit. So, Harris, when we are speaking of innovation in life from the economic perspective, how can we suit that with Liberia's economy? If it is not suitable, what are some of the things we can do so that our economy can be more of innovation, that we can gain more?
Okay. First of all, thank you for that. Thank you for that question. No, I really appreciate it. That's a good question. Yeah. Let me speak to this issue. I'm about to be little bit political. It's said that every individual is a politician. So if I'm diving that way, please, nobody should think, oh, it's politics. You think, no. But I'm about to dive within the issues. Now, I'm telling you, there are a lot of great individuals within Liberia. If the corruption that is in Liberia, if it is not worse, because it's hard for you to, move corruption out of the country completely. It's hard. Even within China, there are still people who are corrupt. Although it's safe and something, even within India, despite it's developed, there are still people who are corrupt. But I'm saying, if the percentage of corruption can reduce to at least 50%, I'm saying 50%, so you should know how many percentage does corruption have on Liberia or has on Liberia? So which means it's more than even 200. I'm telling you, it should reduce to 50%. Or innovative ideas can only work in a country that is corruption free. I know I'm saying corruption free, I'm not saying 100% corruption free. So at least if the corrupt mind cannot interfere with the innovations or the innovative ideas, trust me, Liberia going to improve rapidly. There are a lot of great people out there. There are a lot of people who are studying. There are a lot of people, like just recently, like I can remember years back, I think Elijah or Nuhu, you guys can remember this story. There was an individual in Bond County who created an aircraft. But did we know how that story goes? No. Did we help the individual? No. None of our government officials or none of our political leaders or none of the members within the counties or the country helped that boy to be able to leave Liberia and learn and come back. So at least we can say we have an engineer that will be able to do this. Nobody did it. The only thing they did, they saw the craft of that individual, they went, they took picture, the news went everywhere. Oh, there is this individual who created this. Yeah, much. But individual can sit down and create that. That's an innovative mind. So what I can say, one, we should be able to have a decrease of corruption within our country. I'm not saying getting rid of it 100% because it's impossible for any nation to get rid of corruption 100%. It's impossible. But at least you see these developed countries, there are people who are there corrupt, but the government itself cannot be corrupt, and you expect the innovative mind to prosper or the innovative mind to shine. It's impossible. If the minds of the government is less corrupt from the top, if it is less corrupt, at least you have someone to be able to wake up that kid that is in the dark who have that creative mind to be able to create things. You have that kid to be able to go and study and help Liberia tomorrow. I think one of the things that is eating us up, Liberia, is corruption. So when corruption decreases, there will be a lot of innovative minds. There will be a lot of things that will be invented. There will be a lot of ideas that will be backed by so many people. And trust me, if you see that within the next 5 years, you're going to see yourself, your country trying to face all own food, trying to produce so many things. There are a lot of things like we don't even try to even produce a lot of things in Liberia, but rather we take these things and ship it. Look at the timbers that is coming from Lofa County. You think our fathers or mothers who is in the village who create these ratting chairs, you think they can be able to come up and craft with the help of the government and craft good things out of these timbers? But instead, the government is shaping out of all things, taking the money, investing it on themselves and their family relatives. And that is what killed in Liberia today. So, you know what? If corruption can decrease in Liberia, there will be good things happening in Liberia. There will be a lot of innovative minds coming up. So all we can say, we just pray and hope that we, as out of Liberia, today or tomorrow, when we are opportune to be able to exceed whatsoever position, if you are finance minister or whosoever tomorrow or health minister, from the top, you should be able to try to eliminate corruption. And trust me, things going to work out. A lot of good things going to come out of Liberia. But now, what's happening is corruption. If corruption can decrease, we can have a good country that we call Mama Liberia. We can have good investment going on in Liberia. And we can have good investors coming to our aid to be able to help Liberians. Thank you. I hope I answered the question.
Okay, like some of the points you just put out, like government taking money, government officials eating, for that is your opinion, and for me, I say it's an allegation because I don't know. I have a question again. I have
Yeah,
a
okay,
question,
okay.
and it's about Harris Bolden, not the government, not Nuo, not Elijah, not our viewers, but
Okay.
Harris
All right, no
as
problem.
an individual and someone who is studying economist, and he wants to be an economist for our nation. Yes, because you are a Liberian, so you are studying for our nation, not only your one. So,
Yeah.
what have you done, or what are you doing now in order for what you are studying to have a positive impact to society when it comes to the words of innovation?
Okay. First of all, when it comes to myself, every individual have good plans for themselves. If you ask any individual, they're going to tell you, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that." But I'm going to be real with you, Noah. Like for the past time, what I've actually been studying, yeah, I've actually, opened up my mind to a lot of things, especially when it comes to the economic war. Specifically, I don't want you to refer to me or as an economist. I believe personally that every individual is one way by the other or economist because they have something to do with economics. Your daily life, whatsoever thing you're doing, it has something to do with economics. So when it comes to me, no, for the past time, what I'm working on is the idea to be able to help some of our friends to acquire something that will be able to help them tomorrow. And this thing that I'm talking about acquiring, it's not about you going to school and opening the book and learning anything. No, no, no. This thing is all about giving yourself or self motivations. What I have learned and what I'm actually going through, one way by the other. Some of the things that I have taught just by having invented anything, but some of the ideas I have come up with in immerse me seeking Harris to be able to encourage some of our friends, our less fortunate friends, with that idea of having it. We to be able to talk to our friends who are on drugs, who are doing bad things, who don't want to even go to school anymore, who don't want to be serious, just want to be unserious. So these are some of the things that I'm involved into. Probably, I don't know if I can call that a humanitarian work. It might not be the physical cash that I'm giving you, but at least my words. Every day, like I was opportune to speak on a platform within Sierra Leone to encourage or encourages the less fortunate youth, in which of course a lot of people today I'm in connection with a lot of people from there. We talk on a daily basis. I encourage them. So I think from that point is an idea that I created. It took me time to come up with it. At least if I can be able to motivate someone with my words, that is another important thing. So it's not from the economic aspect, but at least from a helping hand and for my very self to be able to talk to someone and encourage them that no matter whatsoever situation that they are going through, they can overcome it. That is something good. So far so good. That is what I'm involved into now. I'm not involved into anything economical where I'm going to like this something or like something. But I'm praying and hoping that tomorrow Harris can have finance to be able to help a lot of children in Liberia. Harris can have finance to be able to facilitate a lot of people education in Liberia. Harris can have finance to not only talk or motivate people about school or about life, but to also be able to reach out to people and help them. Because talking is not everything. People you might talk to people and they be encouraged, but they does not have the money. So that is what I'm praying for. If I'm opportune tomorrow, Harris will be in Liberia or probably in Africa to be able to help. So that is what I've been working on for the past years. I've been trying to be able to organize my own organization to be able to help the needed and not only helping them but to create change for them for a better tomorrow. So as for that, I think the question has been answered. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Harris, thank you. Thank you ever so much. Elijah, if there is no one on our WhatsApp line, then you can ask grab the last question so that Harris can give his parting statement because we are actually running out of time.
Sure, indeed, we are actually running out of time here. We want to say welcome again, wheresoever you are following us this time. We want to say welcome. And to our viewers there, let me just read a few of the comments here. Jeanette Wille is following from Banga City, Bonkante. We want to say welcome. And Anthony Wille, he say he make a comment here. It's not a question. He said the word linguistically is an art of being up, new ideas mentor. Example now, short ideas should be negative or positive. Once applied in a nutshell, it like a coin with two sided, either a head or a tail. However, we only tend to consider the word as a positive word, but the usage could be inverse. Stay there with Anthony. He say just a point, and Anthony further goes on and say this is an amazing ideology. Hope to see more of this. Anthony also say chief economics and laugh. So I want to say thank you whatsoever you are following us. We say there's a change forum. We are live in India where we brings to you 1 hour 30 minutes of program where we bring students from diverse backgrounds to speak to us on issues surrounding the students' communities and their fields of study. Today we have been joined with Harris, Harris Bogoro, right there in China, speaking to us on innovations in life from an economics perspective. Well, because of time, we will strictly run into his conclusion statements where he's going to be concluding and telling us what is his parting statement. But before then, we want to tell you that wheresoever you are following us, you can also join us, or you can also come here as a student or as probably from the working force to give your own input. Just follow us on our page. Our numbers are there. Our contact numbers are there. You can get our contact number, contact us, and then we can have a talk and bring it on to give your ideas in the student community. Notwithstanding the change, our forum currently have correspondent in Liberia, and our correspondents are Derek Pay and Monica Kwali that will be covering us some live events from Liberia. So I want to say thank you there to David Pay and Monica Kwali for actually relaying the exchange back there in Liberia. So I will strictly go to Harris for his concluding statement once we say his parting comments.
Okay, thank you for the platform, Elijah. I'm very appreciative. And to conclusively conclude, like we usually say in high school, when you're about to come at the end of something, to say to conclusively conclude. Okay, um, like my concluding point would be like, how can a youth be innovative, please? If anyone can get involved into, inventing something, you should be able to be creative. Use your time to be able to think. Use your time to be part of something. Like what Elijah Noah Davis they did. They used their time to be able to create this platform so that some of us can be having the opportunity to be able to speak to you. Use your time to be able to get involved into educative things, social things, and things that you think are going to be helpful to the society. Please, I believe that everybody have the innovative mind to be able to work out something. Everybody have the innovative mind to be able to help your country or the world. So, as that being said, I would love to say thanks to each and every one of you for watching, and I wish that you take whatsoever that I've said here There's a saying that says, "What I've said, if there is nonsense among it, you should take out the none, the ones that make sense, and you take it along with you." So, uh, to come to the end point, I'd love to say once more, thanks to each and every one of you. Thanks to you, Elijah. Thanks to you, Noah Darius. I'm really, really appreciative for the platform, for the opportunity provided me to come on this platform and be able to speak to my fellow youth or to my fellow friends. So, ladies and gentlemen, once more, I'm Harrison Bodo. Thank you. Thank you, Elijah. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Harris, firstly for accepting our invite, and thank you for teaching the community of our people, young people, our people who are outside of Liberia and also in Liberia that are watching. Thank you for educating them. So for Elijah and I, we say thank you as we come now to climaxing this entire event, this entire talk show, and also being very educative. We want to say thank you to our viewers. You can always join the Exchange Forum to get more of education, more of experiences from people who are in top positions, and they are now expertise in their various capacities. You can gain knowledge from them. You can also follow us every time because we have correspondents in Bon County, Liberia, that will be relaying some issues relating to the community of education in that part of the world. Thank you also to Elijah for always giving me the time, the opportunity, and making me a host today is actually a privilege, not my right. So thank you to the entire exchange program. Thank you, Elijah.
Thank you so much, Noor. Thank you. The topic today on discussions have been very, very interesting, especially when you try to raise the negative aspect when we started looking at it in different, in different dimensions. It was actually something that was really brilliant from Harris. I must admit, Harris did extremely well. I learned a lot of things today. I know the clear definitions of innovations, how innovations works, what are the different types of innovations. It was actually good there, but it will always be good. And on our next show, we hope to bring more interesting stories, more interesting students here to talk to us on most of these things. But no, it's good that we should have this show to 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 enlighten the students community on things that is actually happening. And I think this is one of the mediums where students can propagate their messages, right? And tell us how well they are actually coping with things, how education is like, what are some of those things they are actually acquiring as a students, and how their things are actually going on. I think so.
Sure, Elijah. Like before we could dive into our discussion, we firstly asked Harris about his living condition in that part of the world because although he's a Liberian, but he's now an international student. And as a student in the international community, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of difficulties you might face, although it might not be from the financial aspect. You might encounter all kinds of challenges that you cannot say in public, but as an international student, you get to understand. So there are problems as per the region. That's why we have separate government systems as per the countries. So if you are from other parts of the world and you are an educator, you are a student, this is the medium that you can use to disseminate information. This is the medium that you can use to actually tell people about how your part of lifestyle is in the area you are and how really the educational system in the country UI schooling is like, because people from Liberia might want to attend your university or other universities within your state. So this is actually the rightful platform for young people to come and discuss about issues relating them, and also discuss other issues relating young people in society, and not only to discuss the issue, but to positively find a solution to those problems that we face as young people.
Sure, no. You see, that just said, you said it extremely right. That's it. That's why I think a month back, we tried to introduce something like called career planning and career building or career counseling. Actually, we bring in some of these programs to help our young people to understand, right? Because what is going to happen here, no, most of our young people today graduate from high school or call it intermediate, whatsoever thing you might call it. They don't really know, as to what part of the world they are actually going to. So it becomes a serious embarrassment for them, serious embarrassment for the community, serious embarrassment for society. So at the end of the day, you see young people going into different aspects of life that they have no idea of. So I think this is one of the platform we all can use as young people. Let us use it as our advantage, so that we can help younger ones to grow, to understand what they actually needs to do in life, and the list goes on. No, I think there's a referral platform.
It's actually, and Elijah, everything must come to an end. Whether it is good or bad, you must see the end. So we want to now draw down the curtain on today's edition of the Exchange Forum. We say thank you ever so much for playing your listening role. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your reactions. And we are also inviting you in all of our programs that we will be having. The name remains Noah David, but Optimus is actually what I name. That's why I place on my name Optimus. So you can call me Optimus or you call me Noah David. There is no problem with that. I have been one of your panelists on today's discussion. And I say goodbye for now. Thank you.
Thank you, and we say goodbye. We hope to see you in our next editions this coming Saturday. And we say goodbye for now. This is how we draw down the curtain on today's editions. Bye bye, and we say bye bye for now.